So Hasbro sent out to me today a press release of something that they've been working on for quite a while now, a little bit pre-Big V, pre-COVID era Hasbro planning. And it's something that they've been trying to do for the longest time, and it was to create a giant family experience involving all of their brands. When they did HasCon back in 2016, they were probably on the right track, but they were kind of confused with the whole let's make it a convention thing. And HasCon didn't really stick the landing. I was there with a whole bunch of peeps. It was fun, but it was something I don't know if people would revisit it a lot. And they announced today their Hasbro City that they've been working on for a while, and the very first location has opened today. And Hasbro City essentially is Hasbro making a gigantic theme park-like experience involving all of the Hasbro brands, including our beloved Transformers, and why we're talking about this here today. So the very first Hasbro City has opened up, and it's a test market location, and it is in Mexico. And it's at the Paseo Interlomas, and it's a gigantic mall that they have, their giant shopping district, and they've transformed it all, no pun intended, into this gigantic, like it's Chuck E. Cheese on steroids is probably the best way to explain it. Giant entertainment center, huge set displays, rides, everything going on there of all the Hasbro brands. And we're talking stuff like Mr. Potato Head, we're talking Monopoly, we have My Little Pony, we have Power Rangers, we have Tonka, and of course, even stuff like Battleship, G.I. Joe, and the Transformers. And some stuff gets more representation than others. Power Rangers has a pretty good section, has a 360-degree bumper card ride, the Power Ranger bumper card ride, and a big gift shop there. My Little Pony gets a little bit of this and that. The big thing with My Little Pony is the Pinkie Pie goodies, which is their version of their restaurants there, and you could pick up all kinds of different flavored popcorns, and all the popcorns come in different themed tins, including Transformer tins, so you can get collectible popcorn tins there. They have the G.I. Joe HQ, The Pit, which is a laser tag themed kind of G.I. Joe experience there, so there's even some G.I. Joe love there too. But the big one, more than anything else, is Transformers. And there's a huge wing of Hasbro City. You go through the space bridge, and there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. There's the Bumblebee VR battle experience where you sit in a car in Bumblebee and you shoot at Decepticons in a VR kind of thing. You have the Transformers Autobot shooting gallery, which is a more stand-up VR experience where you're shooting at Decepticons. You have a gigantic 50-foot-tall moving Optimus Prime statue that greets everybody. And then probably the centerpiece of all of this, the Optimus Prime Tower, an 83-foot drop ride. Should have been 84 feet. I mean, have it be a little more on the nose, Hasbro. Not 83, you got to do 84. But an 83-foot drop ride. It's one of those ones where they lift you all the way up, and then they drop you down, and then they pull you back up again. So I'm going to post all this footage. They sent a whole bunch of footage. It's all out there now, probably publicly, at least in the Mexican fandom and stuff like that. So a lot of really cool stuff going on here. A lot of really cool stuff going on here. And the whole point of this is a test market thing because they want to see how this does, because they want to bring this to America and in Canada. So it's something where, do you see any interest in this? Is this something that would be interesting to you? Because it's something that they've been trying to do for a while. Didn't really pop off the first time. They kind of were confused with HasCon. And now they have a pretty good idea. And with the big build, with building a Hasbro universe, Rise of the Beast with G.I. Joe crossing over and stuff, it sounds like there's something brewing now. And when they talked about their Blueprint 2.0 with their new CEO and the big plans for the future in a post-COVID world, I'm very curious at how they're going to tackle this. The question is, where would the USA location be, and where would the Canadian location be? If I had to take a guess for the USA location, probably back in Rhode Island. That's, it probably would just be the easiest for them, and it would do Rhode Island some good. It would give them something fun for families to travel down to. and just keep it close to Hasbro's HQ. That's my guess, but I mean, in all honesty, you could do it in one of the more higher locations, let's say like a Florida or a an LA or something like that in the West Coast. But I mean, I think Rhode Island probably would be a no-brainer in a lot of ways. For Canada, it's either Toronto or Montreal. Let's be real. Toronto, maybe Montreal because it's closer to Hasbro's Canadian head office there in Longueuil. It's one or the other in that case. But in the United States, it's more of a toss-up. I'm kind of guessing they're probably going to do Rhode Island or something, maybe somewhere in the New York State. But we will see what that. But at the end of the day, this is very fascinating. This is fascinating. This is something that would be very exciting for Transformer fans. I mean, up to this point, we really just had like the Universal experience with that kind of stuff, and that was it. China has their restaurants and everything that they're building up and those experiences there. So it's really cool to see that this Hasbro City thing is popping off. Mexico's the test market, and then afterwards they're going to move it on to the United States and Canada. Let me know what you think. A lot of really cool stuff here. A lot of really cool stuff here to kind of chew on and just try to figure out where they could go with this in a lot of ways. If this could be bigger. There's gift shops, there's all kinds of stuff there too. So they're able to get their product and they're able to get their brand out there to families and make, Hasbro the family brand, as they've always tried to do. So let me know what you think. I mean, there's so much other news to cover this week, but we'll save that for the next couple of days when more stuff is confirmed. We have some HasLab news in relation to Transformers we're going to be talking about in the near future this week, so stay tuned for that here on the Transformer Slag podcast, and thank you for listening.